The Neo Reality Entertainment brand expands with a relaunch of the Neo Reality Collective Pop Culture News Talk. Your host, Eric Brown, gives his insights and thoughts in the ever-expanding news world of comic books, professional wrestling, gaming, TV, and movies. Be sure to donate to the brand and keep up to date with additional content on YouTube channels such as Neo Reality Entertainment, NRE The Wrestleverse, and NRE Pop Culture Omniversa.
Today's edition of Neo Reality Collective is brought to you by Anchor.fm, a free distribution service podcasting hosting platform that allows you to record your podcast on your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and so much more. You can even make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor.fm app or go to Anchor.fm to get started today. Thank you and enjoy the episode. Yes, Poison Ivy, the most complicated character that DC has ever done, and oh my god, we're right back where we started with this. So, Poison Ivy was announced for her own little mini-series. I would prefer if she started getting her own ongoing, but you know, that's asking too much. And we are still in this conflicted state that, oh, she's a villainess, she's a femme fatale character, she's still the villainess she should be, and in this rather increasingly environmentally aware world, especially since NFTs exist for God knows what reason, blockchain technology, and all the other insane stuff going on that environmentally concerns people, along with how humanity's on the path of self-destruction according to the UN, which definitely is not saying anything about how we're screwed, we're still trying to make Poison Ivy a villain, sort of, in DC Comics. So if you all remember, on my YouTube channel of the Neo Reality Collective brand, I went ahead and published a essay talking about Poison Ivy being an eco-hero for tomorrow, because let's be real, everything is kind of falling apart in the world and people want a rallying cry to someone, and let's be real, Poison Ivy's pretty much the closest character we got. I mean, like, we could say Swamp Thing, but he's more bestial than man these days, so yeah. And Poison Ivy has been in that world of humanity, has been the environmentally concerned, has had her character storyline that it's a tragedy, her origin story. Why can't we just finally move forward and give her a hero status? Because that would be asking too much. Because this is once again the continuing trend with DC Comics. They don't really know what to do with her. One minute they want to make her an anti-hero, the next they want to make her a villain. Some are sick of the whole she's Harley Quinn's girlfriend status, which I get, but at the same time it's one of her most interesting traits, that she, this goddess of elemental status of the green that has such a powerful hold over the green in nature, is able to give into her humanity with Harley Quinn because because she relates to Harley and all that. And we're right back where we started with this whole origin mess, because we somehow aren't getting an answer. So, just to give a brief recap, Fear State happened, Poison Ivy was at the height of her powers, that she spared the city of Gotham, that she disowned the gardener, and I'm surprised he's not dead yet, so, but we're probably never going to see that character ever again. Like, she did appear in a backup story featuring this, a prelude to G. Willow Wilson's Poison Ivy series. Yeah, the writer of Kamala Khan, the creator of Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, is the writer for this event. And oh, yeah, she even admitted this is possibly her most challenging one on the terms of body horror that's in this story. And there's a ton of body horror, but we'll talk about that as we talk about the story and all that insanity. Also, I would like to give a statement on this. There's still challenge here, DC. You can still make Poison Ivy a hero. You can still make her the character that people kind of want her to be at this point. I mean, have you seen the increasing misanthrope in society? And this is part of Pride Month promotion, and the story is that Poison Ivy is finally going to kill humanity for like the 80th, 100th time. So, yeah. Also, the front cover. I believe it was Alyssa Wong that made this cover. Now they're showing her being a meat eater, and I was like, was she never? Well, like I could get her not being a meat eater because of her connection with nature, and she would hate meat. And apparently, G. Willow Wilson in the trailer for Poison Ivy that will try to break several myths and urban legends about her. Though, I don't think they've ever really said she was full on meat eater, carnivore. I know she was a vegetarian, but she never really said if she hated meat or not. But okay. But yeah, Poison Ivy's on this cross-country journey because from the backup, she goes ahead and radically steals someone's van, and we'll see what happened to the passengers in this issue. Oh god. And one of the things that's been mentioned, this is a love story between Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. Even though Poison Ivy's the main character and Harley Quinn probably will only have flashbacks and some interludes, I don't know if she'll fully appear in the present styming of the story. And with Dark Crisis happening, I don't even know how she'll fit into this, in terms of if Poison Ivy will be caught up to Dark Crisis or something. We'll see, but for now, let's take a brief ad break and talk, and then when we get back, we'll talk about the issue itself, and we'll get ready to go on all the body horror and the beginning of the sixth mass extinction for humanity. Oh god, we're in for a ride. This is Neo Reality Collective. We'll be back after these messages. We're back. Let's stay right into Poison Ivy issue 1, chapter 1. So, one other context is that she is also blowing up anti-ecology friendly places, and it saves anyone that looks like Harley. So, yeah, there's that. That happened in the Gotham villains, also written by G. Willow Wilson, saying how Poison Ivy's story would bloom this year. But yeah, let's get into this issue. Humanity had its chance. I know what you're probably thinking. No, DC, because if you did know what I was thinking, I would want a Donna Troy limited series and then make it an ongoing, and then I would want Poison Ivy to be a full-fledged face. No, that's asking too much, isn't it? Ivy's been through a lot. Split into multiple beings. Yeah, that was a bad day. In fact, why couldn't they make the continuity make sense? Like, this is the thing that made me annoyed a little bit. So, there was this whole complicated narrative that they found a piece that Gardner did this and split Ivy off, which is stupid. Like, I thought, okay, did James forget that they could have just used the Harley Quinn Poison Ivy limited series and used that to explain why there's more than one Poison Ivy running around? Was that asking too much? I think that was asking too much, wasn't it, huh? Fused back into one, being gained unfathomable powers, lost unfathomable powers. After all that, she's pissed off. But this is not a story of revenge. This is a story about love. Yes, as we see a mutilated cow with fungal on it. Oh my god, she's about to reenact the events of Last of Us. Let's just hope the sequel doesn't end badly. I don't like killing animals. In fact, I don't like killing anybody. But here's the thing. Humankind has warped the natural landscape so completely that even our food has become an ecological cancer. True. These cattle were never meant to be here. The native species that evolved in harmony with the land starved beneath their hooves. The kindest thing is to give them back the earth. To let them nourish the creatures that they would otherwise destroy. Death is not something to fear. It's coming for all of us sooner or later, like an old friend. Well, that was nihilist. So anyways, we're in Wyoming. And I'm definitely not going to make a joke about that because I could go ahead and reference my Xbox Live account. I don't know, Dad. I think Pops would murder us if he knew we were thinking about putting Graham in a home, like straight up descend from heaven and murder us. Pops would want what's best for Graham, son. It isn't safe for her to be on her own anymore, with your mom working all day and us out here with the cows. There's nobody to, and the tires stop. What the hell? God almighty. What happened to the cows? Those twisted gut? Anthrax? Open your ass, kid. That ain't anthrax. Don't get too close, and don't touch anything. What's all this crap growing on them? And because Poison Ivy knows so much about plants, I cannot pronounce for the life of me what it is. But I will say this, that Poison Ivy is completely justified in this event because these cows were being hostile with her. So, and she reveals there's a colony of something, and she even gives us the layman's terms for it. They're parasitic mushrooms. Your animals didn't suffer before death. Amina induces a feeling of relaxed euphoria. Nature isn't cruel, it's just efficient. My God. Oh, I got the cover art wrong. It was Jessica Fong. Sorry about that, Jessica. What the hell is she talking about? Nothing worth repeating. And you get back. Keep walking till you get to the ridge line. And if I don't, I'll have no choice but to shoot. I gave you fair warning. I mean it. I'm sick of you Greenpeace taps destroying honest folks' livelihoods. You just contradicted that. Like, you could just call them eco-terrorists. I sympathize. I'm sick of them too. But I'm afraid I'm something much worse. You want to die today, young lady? No, I just want to watch. Watch? You say you plan to kill us like you killed those poor animals? No, I'm saying I already have. And we get this grotesque imagery of body horror that would make Junji Ito proud, as fungal grows and rots all over the man's face and eyes. Oh, and I gotta ask, does everyone just forget who this person is? Like, I know this is the DC universe and we have to have people forgetting everything, but wouldn't normal everyday folk by now hear, oh, Poison Ivy's on the loose? Okay, we got that. Okay, we have a plan, right? No, we're screwed? Got it. So as the human body decays into grotesque fungal, well, Poison Ivy narrates. I lied to him. Part of me wanted him to pull the trigger. But there are still things I have to do. Miles to go before I sleep and all that. I borrowed this van from Katie and Kyle back in Colorado. Ah, yeah, from Batman 125. Or 4, whatever. Yeah, they're not doing so well. They're also turned into fungal mess. They are coming along nicely. I don't mean to brag, but you have to be really good at being this bad. I take the back roads, crisscross counties, do everything I can to cover my tracks, and giving the llama as much time as possible to spread. I need to consider head start to stay ahead of the Bat family, who are bound to show up sooner or later, and the Green Man, who, given his moods, I expect imminently. I know this raises more questions than it does answers, but I promise I'll get to them all eventually. So she travels across and heads to Seattle. By the time I get to Seattle, it'll be too late for them to stop by set in motion. I can see you rolling your eyes. Classic, right? Villain can't resist going on an elaborate rant about their genius plan, giving the heroes plenty of time to thwart it. But there's a catch. By the time you read this, it'll already be over. By the time you read this, I'll be dead. Yes, I am true. I read Watchmen, and thus I know what I must do. I must plan things 35 minutes ahead ago, and then give them the head start. So we cut to this small little town in the suburb, in the countryside, as Pamela goes ahead and sits at a bar. Hey there, honey. What can I get you? Whatever you got on tap. You feeling okay? You look a little green around the gills. Do I? Oh, she's so nice. I'm fine, honestly. Just had a long day. I can imagine her decomposing. Dark. Unclear at this time. Local veterinarians believe a strain of anthrax may be responsible. Yes, anthrax is clearly responsible for the Morbius body horror that we got. That I'm pretty sure Junji Ito would say, dude, that was taking it too far. State health officials claim there is no threat to the general public. Like the dinosaurs, they have no idea that the end is already here. I wish you were here for this, even after everything we said, even after the way we parted. I could see you when I closed my eyes. More and more I can see you when my eyes are open too. I see you in the bright light of the morning after. Can't we talk about this? I don't understand why you're so angry. She took everything that ever mattered to me, and you just stood back and let it happen. We were trying to save your life. You saved the parts of me that didn't matter. Yes, I'm pissed that you saved me. I would have died to do this. I used to be green skinned, now I'm suddenly white again. Why does that keep happening? Please come back to bed. I can explain, I swear it's not like that. I would never do anything to hurt you. The thing is, now that I've had a chance to calm down, I could see that you were telling the truth. You were trying to save me. You couldn't have known what it feels like to have that much power taken away. And in this flashback, we see Harley and Poison Ivy kiss, and then Poison Ivy walks out. At the height of my powers, I spared the city of Gotham, and in return, they clipped my rings. I know you, of all people, understand why that's so hard to forgive. You didn't want to lose me, so you went along with it, with her. And this is where her little scheme left me, succumbing to my own poison. You feeling okay, babe? Having a rough night? Not yet. I'm so unequivocally pissed what you're doing right now. You look like you had one too many already. Cute outfit. You got a lot lizard or something? I work in landscaping. You mean like flowers and stuff? Something like that. Anyway, have a good night, boys. You're leaving already? But we were having such a nice conversation. Does no one seem to recognize her? Oh my god, you're all drunk assholes. I can't hang around here drowning in my sorrows. I have to keep moving. There's a certain container ship leaving the port of Seattle in 3 weeks, bound for Taipei. Taipei. If I can hold out long enough, that leaves the perfect amount of time to spread the fungal to the number of agricultural centers and distribution warehouses along the way. Then I could curl up an empty container on that ship and just let nature take its course. Hey, Ginger, wait for us! So, what she's doing is that she's going to poison the agricultural centers and distribution warehouses and poison all the grain in the world, which is something I have meant that, good idea. A fanfiction story did that years ago. It was a Young Justice fanfiction story. Poison Ivy went ahead and poisoned the Earth's crops. That led to the humanity losing its food supply, and eventually the green took over and won, and that ended badly. So yeah, the drunk assholes want to be drunk assholes. Listen, we're nice. We got plenty of cash. Let's make a deal. It'll only take 5 minutes each. And naturally, since this is Poison freaking Ivy, she beats the living crap out of them. Hey lady, I really don't want it. And sucker punches the other guy. You have no idea what trouble looks like. This is the point at which I could just walk away. And she blows a mist of fungal infection and narrates that she could walk away from this and says she doesn't. If a couple of aliens want to offer themselves to me, who am I to stop them? I can't breathe. What is this stuff? They're fungal spores, so light that they can float through the air for miles. Don't fight this. In another minute, it won't hurt at all. Goodness. You see, now you're part of it too. Life, death, rebirth. The green is always thinking, and right now it's thinking of you. As we see horrendous imagery of Poison Ivy transformed into the green itself, out through frickin' visual imagery galore, where she boldly proclaims, "Welcome to the 6th mass extinction, boys." I can't control the green anymore. Can't fuse with it, not like I could before. This induced light show is as close as I get. Why are you so sad? Everything's so beautiful. Honestly, my guy, I'm sad because I'm not coming with you. You mean you can't feel it? The earth talking? The power? No, I can't anymore. But I know it's there. As the now fungal creatures of Last of Us are transformed fully. So she gets in the car and just lets outside before driving off. It's not that I dislike human beings. As individuals, they're fine. What I hate, what keeps making me grind my teeth, what keeps me awake grinding my teeth is civilization. Collectively, we are an invasive species. She's right, you know. Sucking up every resource on the planet till all that's left is a ball of superheated concrete. Oh, don't worry. The humans will still find a way to maximize on concrete potential. Now that's where you're wrong, Ellie. I may not know a lot about fungal stuff, but I know a lot about concrete. The only way to save this beautiful blue marble is to get rid of all of us. Every one of us. Even me. Because there's only one person who deserves all this beauty, and that's you. And there's no way back from extinction. Right. As the fungal creature starts to extend its hand out. Yeah, that sounds about right. Congratulations, Poison Ivy. You've created not the mass extinction, but the slow, prolonging apocalyptic that is The Last of Us. It's only a matter of time till we get a sequel, and then all of a sudden everyone's going to hate it, and then everyone's going to criticize it, and even though I haven't played the sequel because I'm not interested in the sequel, I feel like it should have just been one and done. Well, that's the way it goes. Franchises are very popular for people. So that was Poison Ivy number 1, and it was a very grotesque, wild ride. Like, body horror to the extreme. Oh, man. The artwork is great. It gives off the body horror well. Though I am questioning why is Poison Ivy suddenly her normal skin all of a sudden instead of her green skin that she was given since the end of Heroes in Crisis. And the less we talk about that, the better. Because there's always been this, like, I know she can change her skin color temperature or something like that. I don't really know, but like, it just confuses me. Like, one minute she's green over here, and then she's white over here, and then it's like, oh my god, can you just pick a side already? So, yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, Harley, Quinn, and Poison Ivy on break for the 800th time because everyone hates us. DC. And, well, we'll probably see the Gardener again. I'm surprised she's not dead yet. And, like I said, we keep having this conversation, and I will continue to have this conversation. Can we just please finally just make Poison Ivy a hero character instead of continuing this trend of her being a villainous, femme fatale character? Like, yeah, it's just gotten so insane at times that this is still happening. So, yeah. We're right back where we started with Poison Ivy, and let's see how long it's going to last before we get more characters showing up. Oh, man. So, Poison Ivy's on the cross country tour across to prepare for her next extinction event, and apparently it's also an extinction suicide event. So, that's our hero, everybody. Oh, God. Like, we've had this, like, I'm still on this conversation about Poison Ivy becoming the eco-hero for tomorrow instead of this repetitive make her a villain route. So, yeah. We'll have to see where things go from here as the next issue comes out in the next month or so. And as that continues, we'll see how long this will take place until Dark Crisis eventually brings it up. Probably not, but, you know, it can't hurt to help a dream. Like, Harley Quinn's in there. She's part of the new Justice League that Superboy formed. And we don't know how that's gonna go. Oh, man. Even Black Adam's like, we are so screwed. So, yeah. Poison Ivy is on her cross-country journey. We'll see where things go from there. This was Neo Reality Collective, hosted by Eric Brown. We'll see you all again next time. And stay tuned for this last ad break and outro, and we'll see you all again. Take care.
Be sure to donate to the brand and keep up to date with additional content on YouTube channels such as Neo Reality Entertainment, NRE The Wrestleverse, and NRE Pop Culture Omniversa.